friends, and welcome back to Violin Teacher YouTube channel. I'm back! Today was the first day in the lessons that I actually played my violin. So I think we're back on track here. If you'll be patient with me, I will be adding songs and getting the schedule of video releases filled up as quickly as I can. Today I want to give you a quick video about vibrato, the mysterious, elusive talent of playing vibrato. So I'm going to give you some steps, and each step you must do easily and properly before you go on to the next step. Okay? So are you ready to learn vibrato? Here we go. All right, friends, so here we are going to learn vibrato, wrist vibrato. Okay, so I prefer wrist vibrato. I feel like it probably has a little bit more range of flexibility and versatility. But if you're doing arm vibrato, that's okay. It's still all right, whatever's comfortable for you. This, we're going to address wrist vibrato. So step number one is that you must hold the violin with your head only. So test it. Work it out so that you have a shoulder pad and, comfort for, covering up the metal, whatever makes you uncomfortable, work it out. And play with your violin held only with your head. That must be accomplished before you will have success with vibrato. Right? Step two is I want you to just raise your hand and turn it and think about this point in the wrist, right where I broke mine on the other hand, thankfully. All right, and holding the violin, starting with the step one, we're going to put the wrist close to where we usually put it in first position. We're going to put it against the neck of the violin. So if you can do that, you're in business. That's a little bit uncomfortable, but don't push on the violin, just touch the violin with your wrist. Step number three is wave at yourself. Just wave the hand, and see, you notice because we've touched the neck that we're kind of stuck there. Good, and that's going to help you get a nice wrist motion from the wrist. So the wrist itself isn't moving, is it? Good. If you get tired for a minute, then just hold the violin at the shoulder, take a little break, and then do it again. Check step one always first, and then put your wrist against the violin and wave at yourself. Now, as you're waving, of course, you won't be talking, so I'm going to hold right here because it's making the violin move up and down as I talk. But as you're waving, I want you to think of this part of your thumb where it touches the neck on the other side. Because we're now going to release and approach the violin with the thumb as we wave the hand. Still waving now. Let's try this waving motion, just touching with the thumb. Here's another view of it. Step one, always go back to that, always test it, because steps that follow will not succeed if you skip this. And this is the hardest one. Step two, put the wrist against the violin, neck, right where you usually put your hand, and then start the wave. That's step three. Thinking about where you touch the violin, approximately right there. Then slowly as you wave, go down, put the thumb against the neck, keep the wave going. All right, now as we do step four, if you are not comfortable with this, keep practicing it until you are. Do not move to step 4 until you're comfortable with this. All right, now as you're waving your hand and you're kind of anchored right here on with the thumb, you're going to be thinking about the tip of your third finger. At this point, you could use any finger you want, but I like to use the third finger because it tends to be the loosest. And as we learn vibrato, it seems to be easiest for third finger. If you think second finger is, or even first, is easier to use, then you can certainly use that. But think about that third finger as you do the wave. Now notice we're not touching the violin here. So, but don't move too far away from the violin, okay? Right there. Don't move too far out here. Think about that third finger approaching the A string. It's getting closer in. Keep checking that wrist motion, and now gently touch the string. And you'll hear it sliding. It's sliding up and down the string. All right, your wrist is still waving. Your thumb is staying in one place. It's not moving with this waving motion. It's staying in one place. Your pinky can snuggle up with third finger. That's okay. You're sliding gently. You're not pressing in like you would if you were going to play. And then you make this slide skinnier and skinnier until you're finally going to select a spot where you think it belongs and let the fingertip hold the string firmly. And there you have a good vibrato. So step 6 is where you have dropped that third finger pretty firmly in while you're doing this wrist motion. Let's listen to it. And now, if that's comfortable for you, congratulations. You can then play with different speeds. But you have the general action of the hand. Then try it with other fingerings. So if you have any questions, drop me a comment in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.